Hello and welcome to Becoming Abundant podcast. I am your host, Anna Maria Jinga, and this is our side of the internet where we get to speak about true abundance, personal authority, emotional optimization, and the pure power of alignment, all while living in the presence and guidance of God Himself. I am a holistic coach and mentor focusing on healing the emotions keeping you stuck so that the mind and body can align and live a limitless life. We all have a mission and a purpose, and I am here to help you unchain from what's been holding you back to actually live in your full potential. Think of it as transformative triggering in the best possible way. The time has come to live a life you love. Let's dive in. Hello, my darlings, and welcome to this week's episode of Becoming Abundant podcast. I am your host, Anna Maria Jinga, and this week we're diving into the third and final part of the Truth Left Unspoken workbook, Module 3, which is all about healing. And I have to say, you guys have been quite inspiring to read and listen to as you go through this whole workbook journey that you've explored for the past few weeks since it's launched. And I have to say, for those of you who are tuning in on YouTube, yes, we are in the new environment. I'm in my RV for the winter, so you can see all blurred in the background my beautiful RV. And we have a new microphone, so I'm hoping this sounds even better for you guys because it's very soothing to have a nice voice talking back at you and not something like screaming at you. But besides that, if you're also on YouTube, I've had the privilege to finally get my hands on the workbook this past week, and I am in awe of how beautiful it turned out because when you self-publish, you don't know how it's going to turn out. I literally prayed over it, and some of my beautiful clients actually already got it before me and were like, oh my God, Anna, it's so beautiful. It made me so happy for you guys to actually experience it before I did. But now I have it myself, and it is absolutely amazing. I love the fact that it turned out better than I expected because I'm a very kinesthetic person. So I love for things to feel a certain way. I'm really happy how the cover turned out, how soft it is, how glowy it is, how the fact that the gold on the cover looks so appealing and so beautiful, like a little bit like sand. So it makes me really, really happy. But yeah, here we are, week 3 of presenting to you guys a little bit of insider scoop into the Truth Left Unspoken, the self-coaching workbook to becoming abundant. And the last module is all about healing. And it's not just a physical type of healing, even though whenever we take care of our mind, our body benefits as well. So you will feel that the mind gets more balanced, the body starts to vibrate at the same frequency of balance as well. But the thing about this third module is it wraps up very neatly the identity module and the chaos coordination module that you probably have worked so hard to break yourself open to experience the full benefit of those two modules. And now in the healing, you are open, you are raw, you are fully exposed to your true potential, and you allow yourself to find peace in the process. Because whenever we experience healing, we experience peace as well. And at first, when you first begin the process of healing, you might feel glimpses of peace here and there, but the more diligent you are to your healing, the better it is. And why it's important to have a healing, a proper, aligned, balanced, optimal healing journey is that when you create a new version of yourself, the old version of you needs to die. And in order for some part of you that needs to die, and actually I was talking to a dear, dear client of mine, and if you're listening to this right now, thank you so much for diving so deep into your personal healing and opening up so much to the process. But I was talking to him the other week about how when we shift into a new identity, the old identity must die. And the subconscious, whenever something dies within us, an old identity, an old belief, an old shift that you constantly were using, when that needs to die, when that needs to be shed, it will do its ultimate struggle to hold on to you. And you will feel like I'm doing all of this healing and yet I'm still experiencing the same damn pattern. Why? In Christianity, I like to call it the devil is strongest and most malicious when you're steps away from actually fully releasing yourself to Christ. In psychology, I call that the subconscious holding on to what it feels like it's normal and natural and comforting because it's known right before you get to shift into that new identity of yours that's actually serving you. So whenever we're in that space of healing, healing takes time. Let me say that one more time. Healing, true proper healing, actually takes a lot of time. It doesn't happen overnight because you didn't get sick, imbalanced, unwell overnight. The chronic mental, emotional, physical imbalances, the chronic things happen in time. So when you find yourself actually properly healing, it takes time, it takes processes. And you find the ebbs and flows that you might have better days and you have those days when you're feeling like, oh my goodness, so much work I've put into this and I feel like I'm in the same place. What's going on? You're actually not in the same place. You're layers deep into your healing, and the subconscious, the devil, the evil patterns, the imbalances are trying to hold you into the same loop because it's known, because it's easy, because it's tempting to just be in the victim, small, low frequency. It's tempting for the mind because the mind doesn't see change as good if it's not trained. If it's a trained mind, you will find any kind of challenge fun. You will find any kind of challenge maybe even exciting to a certain degree, depending how crazy you are. And I love you guys that are super crazy and be like, I'm going through another healing journey. Fun. It's going to be wild and exciting and crazy, and I'm going to hate it and love it at the same time. I love you guys. I'm one of you. I get it. And at the same time, I'm resonating so much with those who are like, what the hell is going on? I've done so much healing. I thought I mastered all of this. Am I still in the same place? You are not. You are layers deep into all of that healing that you have gone through, maybe sometimes from childhood. And if you're like in your 40s, 50s, 60s, you're like, I've been healing for like a decade now. What the hell is going on? Nothing is going on. You're just shedding more of that darkness out of you. You're discovering how to create more space. And in order to create space, you need to declutter. Just like in a house, it first gets really messy when you're cleaning up in order for it to be actually, at the end, really clean. So don't blame yourself. But I wanted to read you guys something from the workbook that I wrote. At the end of each chapter, you will have a quote. And the healing journey chapter ends with this quote. Abundance flows when you release what no longer serves you and embrace who you're meant to become. And I would add to that, not only release what you no longer feel like it's serving you, but also forgive yourself in the process of actually knowing that you've done everything in your power to understand what you've gone through. Forgive yourself for allowing yourself to go through what you've gone through. Understanding that it's not your fault. it's your responsibility to a certain degree, but there are things outside of your control that you have experienced that are not your fault. So forgive yourself for those. Forgive yourself so that you can set yourself free from them. Because when you do not forgive yourself, if you do not forgive the people that have caused you certain patterns, certain thoughts, certain behaviors to manifest within your life, if you do not surround the whole situation in forgiveness, both for you and for those outside of you that had an impact in this process, you will not be able to fully surrender and let go of the things that have been holding you back. So the thing is, in this healing journey module, you not only start working on healing yourself, each cell, each pattern, bringing out more of these thoughts and emotions that have been holding you back, you're also learning how to love yourself and forgive yourself. Because at the end of the day, you can say, oh, I love myself on my good days. But do you love yourself when shit hits the fan? Do you love yourself when it gets really dark again for you? Are you loving yourself enough to give yourself a rest day, a break, pause, a nap, extra water? Do you love yourself enough to forgive yourself for the really dark times when it got so bad that you thought nothing can take me out of here? Side note, Jesus can take you out of there, but you already knew that. The thing is, the work you get to do with yourself through this module and in any of your healing journeys that you are going through right now, or maybe will go through in the future, the work you do on yourself is the work of love, the work of forgiveness, the work of pure commitment to honoring who you were born here to be. Because think about it. Nothing in this world, no creation, no plant, no flower, no anything is by mistake. Nothing is by mistake. So why would you, a giant sentient being with such a powerful computer as your mind, with such capacity of frequency manipulation through your emotions and your presence, we'll get into that in a future episode. But the being, this magnificent, powerful, creative, imaginative human being, why would you be a mistake here? Why would you ever believe that you would be a mistake and you do not need or deserve forgiveness, love, and compassion? Why would you ever believe that? Nothing is by chance. And when you actually internalize that belief, you get to free yourself from so much turmoil that most likely you have gone through for many years. Because if you're listening to this, most likely you have gone through your own transformative dark night of the soul thing experience recently. And you have realized how much of that darkness you've been carrying around for eons. But if you're here, you also know that there's something in you that's calling you to do better. It's something in you that's calling you to want more for yourself. It's something in you that is teaching you, maybe awakening you to realize, I need more. I'm capable of more. I need to offer more, to be more, to do more, to be and vibrate more. Because if you know a little bit about who we are as beings, everything is about energy, frequency, and vibration. This is how we function. This is how we are. Everything inside of us is this organic vibrating machine. We are frequency beings, pure frequency beings. And it has nothing to do with New Age or Christianity. It's the truth of who we are and who God made us. So when we are these beings and we treat ourselves with such a low expectation, there's this internal struggle of who you are and who you are taught to be, that they're constantly battling each other. So if you're here and listening to this, most likely you have felt within you that there's something calling you to do more, be more, serve more, show up more. And you don't know what it is. And you maybe think of yourself, how could I ever do more or be more? I am just me. Yeah. But that word just is doing you a big disservice, because it's not just you. It's you. It's been you. It's always been you. Constantly playing the not so popular, the low level, the second best, the less of a priority character, the assistant in your own life. Honey, I can tell you, you have been doing such a big disservice, because you're the main character. Think about it. In your life, you get to be the main character. In other people's lives, maybe not. But in your life, you're it. You have free will. You have free choice. You have full control over yourself. You're it. You're the one for yourself. So when you are the one for yourself and you are this magnificent being, so perfectly created, because everything in your system is working optimally, when you get out of its way, then, my love, if you have been playing a different role, that's what's wrong. So my thought for you, as you go through the workbook, as you work through this sequence of healing, of understanding, and I'm always going to be here to remind you that you can always dive deeper into understanding who you are, because we are so complex and so limitless that you'll never fully know exactly who you are. God knows. God created you, so he knows. But it's your mission to discover as much of you as you possibly can, because you're worth it, because it is your birthright to actually know who you are. The healing module is actually creating this full circle of understanding who you are through the identity, what's within your control, and what is not within your control through the chaos, and what needs to heal and be let go through the healing, so that you can become this new being of the person, the main character in your life that is becoming abundant. Because at the end of the day, abundance is limitless. It's not about the money. Money is a tool. It's not about the resources. Resources are great means to make things happen. It's about your beliefs, your mindset, your vibration. Do you understand how much power you actually have within your being to vibrate at such a high energy that you get to influence life around you? You're not God, but you can channel God through you. And that, my loves, is the ultimate power. You can surrender to his power when you get to vibrate at a higher frequency. But you won't be able to do that if you do not learn who you really are, what's going on, what you can control, what you cannot control, so you can surrender that need to control everything and actually be fully in your role of actually surrendering and controlling the things that are meant for you to control. And then stepping into the healing process of leveling up to that frequency and energy that can hear God, that can be a vessel for God's blessings and power and strength and magnificence. So I'll leave you with this. When you think of your own healing journey, what is something that you haven't forgiven yourself for? What is something that you haven't forgiven others for that will bring you truth? I actually asked this to my client the other week. What is the truth that sets you free? Think about it, journal about it, allow yourself to breathe through everything that's coming up, and send your responses to me, because I'm really excited for you guys to dive into this variant of you that even considers that there is a truth that will set you free. And please send them my way on my email, info@becomingabundant.net, or on my socials at I am becoming abundant. Thank you so much for tuning in. I love everything about this community and how great we are growing together. Thank you so much for taking time to order and gift the workbook to yourself and to others in your life that you find is benefiting them. Thank you so much for your amazing testimonials. It makes my heart so happy to know that the work that I've put into this has actually started impacting lives everywhere. It makes me feel freaking amazing. Thank you so much. And until next week, I wish you love, blessings, and stay salty and bright. I love you. Thank you, and goodbye.